misinformation, disinformation, deepfakes, they are attacking the foundation of our society. The rapid spread of deepfakes, misinformation, disinformation is basically striking at the root of these institutions, the root of trust between these institutions. There will have to be a technical and legal solution which has to be there. I have interacted with the ministers from more than 20 countries on this. The construct of freedom of speech has to be with responsibility on the person who's speaking.
In a world that we're all facing right now of honestly persistent misinformation, disinformation, deepfakes, how can government work with industry to solve this dangerous problem that not only impacts creativity, which is obviously what we're here to talk about, but it impacts public safety, it impacts national security. How do you think we can provide guardrails here?
This is extremely important point. Misinformation, disinformation, deepfakes, they are attacking the foundation of our society. Foundation of our society is the trust between institutions. The trust between the institutions which society has created over centuries. These are the trusts, these are the institutions of family, institutions of different social identities, institutions of governance. These are the institutions which hold the society together. And the rapid spread of deepfakes, misinformation, disinformation is basically striking at the root of these institutions, the root of trust between these institutions. And I think the social media platforms, the AI models, the creators, all of us will have to take the responsibility for making sure that the new technology is strengthening the trust rather than belittling it, rather than reducing it, rather than creating that breakup between different institutions without creating the alternative. And there again, there will have to be a technical and legal solution which has to be there. I have interacted with the ministers from more than 20 countries on this, and including some of the most liberal countries. And practically every one of them believes that time has come when the society has to look at it with a fresh, in a totally new way. The construct of freedom of speech has to be with responsibility on the person who's speaking.
So of the many people impacted by that, you mentioned the institution of family. And I wanted to raise a sub-point, an important one, which is children. The consideration to ensure that children and other groups are protected from AI-generated content. I mean, children around the world a young girl could be, without her permission, placed in an adult movie. Individuals could all of a sudden find themselves starring in movies without getting paid for it and doing things they wouldn't necessarily do in normal life. But about children, how do we protect kids and families? What do you think?
This should be non-negotiable for the entire country. Yeah. This should be non-negotiable for the entire human society. And we believe that this will require very strict legal as well as technical measures.
Yeah, I agree, and that's wonderful, and I can agree completely. I just want to say in America, we are behind this piece of legislation called No Fakes, which is trying to address this issue while preserving our right to tell stories, but at the same time making sure those guardrails are in place. And all of our product has parental controls. Our product, the stuff made by our 7 studios, are curated content. You can't upload a new Netflix show on your own. It's Netflix that does it, and they're curated, and they're rated. And so what we do in America is we make sure that people understand what they're going to be seeing. Our movie rating system in the United States has R and PG and G, and it's been around for 62 years because parents, 92% of the parents trust that we're going to at least tell them what their kid might see if they go to this theater. so they're not completely surprised by it. And so the point I wanted to make is simply there's a big difference between user-generated content, something that's uploaded and unregulated and uncontrolled, and curated content where we've already put a tremendous amount of thought into what's being seen. And I think that distinction needs to be remembered, certainly in our opinion.
A quick point here. When you mention the OTT world, my request is, in the digital world, there are no physical boundaries. In that scenario, it's very easy for the OTT platforms to kind of forget the cultural context. Cultural context is very important. What is normal in one society may not be normal in another society.
Absolutely.
And that's where I think global platforms like yours, like Netflix, must make sure that the cultural context of the countries in which they are operating is fully, they should be aware of that cultural context, should modulate according to that cultural context, and work by the constitution and the legal framework of that country rather than the framework of the parent country.
I think the reason that the creator of our ratings system, Jack Valenti, 65 years ago, only made it for the United States is it's hard enough in America to find consistent understanding. All of our states have different views as well. But I hear you loud and clear, and obviously our studios, the international market is the heart and soul of our business in many ways. And I think all of us are trying as hard as we can to be sensitive to those issues. But thank you for